We have wind chill values right now in the upper 30s and low 40s. It is the 5th day of May. I know there's been times when you've heard about the infamous snow and sleet around Derby and Oak State. No, it's not cold enough for snow, but it feels like it. Seriously, if you're out here and you're wet and you have that wind cutting at you at 20 to 25 miles per hour, forget it. The 40s have set up and they will not budge. You need the rain gear. We told you that for days. So this dry slot that we've been looking at coming at us from southern Kentucky made it right to Churchill Downs and then boom, hit the brakes. It stopped. But we should continue to see some weakening in some of these rain showers as it tapers a little bit. But then later on today, that stuff in southern Indiana comes back. Scattered showers are with us all day. Here's the details for the hour-by-hour outlook for your Oaks Day forecast with temperatures that will hold steady, if not drop a few degrees, with these winds 10 to 15, 20, 25 miles per hour. Why not light off those fireworks, huh? Temperatures currently, ooh, it's heating up. We're in the low 70s, and the humidity is climbing too. We are going to have some thunderstorm issues heading into tomorrow. Here's what we have throughout Kentucky, and most of us now nearing the upper 60s. Heat island effect, it's on in Louisville, low 70s. So we look at the satellite and radar. Glorious sunshine for the first half of the day. Notice clouds out west. They will slowly trickle in during the afternoon, increasing amounts of clouds. The rain and thunderstorm chance, it's pretty low. About 10 to 20% as we get some of these isolated thunderstorms. It's hot, it's humid, it's early July weather. We do have an air quality alert today with a lack of wind. Coming up in a few minutes, this could be some of the better firework displays that we get because the rain and storm threat increases dramatically tomorrow. 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. Put it in your head. 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. That's that time frame when severe weather will be most likely, and there's going to be reports of some golf ball size hail, very large hail. This is not your run-of-the-mill situation when it comes to that hail potential. You know, I don't know if you've ever had your roof damaged, but it stinks. Not only do you have to get a new roof, but then your insurance policy, the amount of money you have to pay goes up. And it's not your fault. It's like you can't, I mean, look, you get a hailstorm, there's nothing you can do about it. And I think that's going to be a situation that some of us deal with from today's thunderstorms. On the weather chart today, severe weather aspects, it's all about the high risk for hail, even that somewhat enhanced risk for tornadoes. Along I-71, meeting up with Interstate 65, danger, danger, danger. We have the lightning, we have blinding downpours. We saw it live in Bardstown. You cannot see with this kind of rain that falls mixed in with large hailstones. You do not want to be on the road. You need to let this thing pass. In about an hour or two, it's going to be outside of Kentucky, and we'll be completely finished with this. Through 6:15, Henry and Shelby County, severe thunderstorm warning with the likelihood of hail damaging straight-line winds. We saw it firsthand when it came through Bardstown, now in Bloomfield, up towards Taylorsville, Spencer, Nelson County. That's the danger zone with a severe thunderstorm. As we climb vertically in this particular cell, this guy's up to around 40 and 45,000 feet. In fact, some of the cloud tops now up to near 50,000 feet as this thing has just exploded. This has absolutely been the beast of the show so far today, representing when it first formed down around Litchfield, a possible tornado. That touched off the first tornado warning, and the hail core just blows your mind. I mean, obviously, you know where it is. You're drawn right to that blotchy area of orange and red. We're analyzing embedded in that storm that extends up to around 25,000 feet, the worst of that precipitation, which tells us where we have hail. This is a large hail core. This thing isn't just impacting a square mile or two. This is a big hail core as it moves away from Bardstown, right on top of Bloomfield. You can see Newcastle and Henry County picking up some very strong thunderstorms right now as these severe thunderstorm warnings will continue at least for another hour or so until we can get them east of Kentuckiana. But right now from Bloomfield to Wakefield, picking up the likelihood of some hail, Little Mount, Olive Branch, and Harrisonville. Large hailstones throughout Kentuckiana. If you were watching our coverage, anywhere you saw red on the radar yesterday, you had the likelihood of hail. Cox's Creek, one of those hot spots when it came to hail. And looking at every single one of these dots representing either damaging straight line winds or destructive hail. One tornado just outside of Lawrence County. The National Weather Service today is going to survey quite a few counties throughout Kentucky for the potential of tornadoes. Henry County, Hart County, Greene, Taylor, Adair County, Greene County, around Greensburg last night, some very strong rotation. And when you look at what happened with some of these homes and these structures, it looks like someone took a machine gun and just went opened up fire. I mean, that's what happens when you get 60 to 70 mile-per-hour winds sandblasting those hailstones right up into the siding. We're talking about extensive damage, probably going to amount to well over $1 million worth of damage as we head down through Nelson County and Hardin County. And it was piled high, some places almost up to around a foot high with these hailstones. That kind of accumulation, I mean, it's just something. But it is going to fill in almost instantaneously, and this area of blue is moderate snow. Some of the heavier snow will start to set up across the Bluegrass State, and it's going to get pretty dicey as we start to shift this first wave of snow down to the south. Still some flurries and light snow in southern Indiana, and all of this accumulates. It's moving off to the east around 50 miles per hour. Up in Bedford, Indiana, courtesy of Dennis Gregory, that's what it looks like in his backyard. Borden continuing to produce those snowflakes, and we're covering things up rapidly. Please send in those photos so we can show you what this snow's doing throughout all of the region, and then we'll tell the best weather story. Snow coming down at a moderate clip. Get your broom out today. You're really not going to need a shovel. This fluffy stuff, it will go away. Couple swipes. Throw some salt down, you'll be good to go. But it's making for real problems on roads that haven't been treated. If you didn't have the luxury of getting down and driving across some roads that have had brine on it or salt on it, you're going to have some real problems. And this will extend not just this morning, but right into the afternoon. To Stormview HD radar we go. Coming up in a few minutes, 60s and 70s, and your hour-by-hour trick-or-treat forecast. That's what we have for you. Mike Marshall, how are we looking with traffic?
What's going on?
What's up,
Wait
buddy?
a minute. You want me to tickle your funny bone?
What's going on? Yeah, give me a tickle.
How you like that, huh? How you like that? Come here. You sound very familiar.
I do.
Yeah. You sound just like our weather guy, Jude Redfield.
If you're out walking the dog today, you're going to be loving it. Loving the fact that we have the sun coming back. It's been so cloudy, and it's about time. Sunset at 6:44. A few clouds increasing, but we're not talking about any precipitation. The thing that we have driven home over the last week and a half is how cold it's going to be. It gets low. Those temperatures are dropping 41 degrees at 10 o'clock. And you have to remember, with recent rainfall, light winds, this is perfect breeding ground for these mosquitoes. Until we get a good killing frost, they're going to be a pain in the neck when you have these kind of conditions. Mosquito meters up to a 4 out of 5 tonight. Thinking about Friday night, high school football, we're sitting in the stands. Come on, Johnny. You're just trying to watch the game. You're going to be swatting them off of you. It's going to be one of those weeks. 71, some patchy fog late tonight. This is not going to run rampant, but some patchy dense fog is in the outlook. Hurricane Maria. It is current winds right now at 155 miles per hour. Watching this move through Puerto Rico, it will start to slowly weaken in the next few hours, but then reemerge out into open waters. So this satellite imagery where you just look at it and you're like, my goodness.
Would you say the heat's kind of eclipsed today?
Oh!
Will it get a good bit cooler while the eclipse is out?
Oh, man!
It is going to cool down a little bit, a few degrees. That's what I'm kind of interested to see. You know, what kind of temperature drop do we get with this thing?
Yeah.
But there's your glasses, and Candace and I will be out at the fairgrounds.
That's right.
We're going to hand these out.
A few are left.
Yep, still have them.
Look at that thing coming across the United States. So it comes on shore, Washington, out around Oregon, a few hours before it makes it all the way into Hopkinsville, where you get 100% totality. Then all of a sudden here in Louisville, so many people are like, well, it's not totality. Is it a big deal? Yeah, it's a big deal. I mean, you're looking at almost 96% coverage, so just a little sliver is going to show up, just a little sliver of some of those sun rays getting through. We're heading towards 90 degrees. Let me take you hour by hour for the time frame of today's eclipse. It begins at 12:59. It will peak at 2:27. It will wrap up at 3:51. So we have plenty of time to view this. There's some of those stronger breezes blowing around the pollen. This right here could eventually be the best air show that we have all weekend. That's our weather graphics. As good as it gets, possibly. It looks like on and off rain is likely throughout the entire Saturday. The air show in serious jeopardy. We start the day in the 40s. We'll make it to about 50 by the time the air show is scheduled to go off. But it just does not look promising.